And hello. Hello, 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 everyone. Yes, it is Monday and I am here. Wow. So, welcome, everybody, and thank you for joining me this morning. Let's see, I don't feel like I'm centered. Maybe I am. Maybe I'm not. I don't know. Moving the moving it around, moving it around. Uh, one day, we will upscale to flashier, more um, cooler cameras and stuff like that for filming. So that's one of my on my list of what I want to manifest or create. Well, on the list of a very large list. So thank you everybody for coming in and joining and watching the replay. I am on the mend, thank goodness. Still stuff is straggling on. With the nose and, having a little bit of coughing and stuff like that. Coughing usually starts at night. Of course, when you're ready to go to bed, that's when the coughing always starts. So I just wanted to, you and me, let's have a conversation. How are you all doing? How's everything going for you all? I feel there's so much information and that's coming to people, on people, around people. There is a lot happening in the world around us. And I think in many senses, like we're getting very numb to it, which is a good and a bad thing, where we're just tired of hearing either about what's happening over in Ukraine or uh, the economy, everything. I think we're just wanting to go forward. And um, being in Taurus season, this is not a fast moving energy. It's a very slow moving energy. Even though Uranus wants to go fast, it's been there for a while, and it takes a little bit to get things motivated. One of the things is that we're going to be feeling this Mercury energy, especially while he's in Gemini right now. And this is where he's kind of he is there, but he is in shadow. He'll be going retrograde soon, on May 10th. But this is where I feel like if things aren't really moving forward the way that you would like to, this is when we start to work with that planet or talk to that planet. Understand what that planet is all about. Mercury is the god of communication. So what are the things we can do with Mercury? What are the things how can you work with Mercury? And these are part of the things that I'll be teaching in my shamanic class, is how to work with that planet, and especially as he's gone retrograde, right? And we're in between eclipse season as well. We'll have the lunar eclipse on the 15th. And so we're kind of in this sort of lull of energy. And when we start to work with the energies of the planets, so if many of you who do like a new moon and full moon meditation, you're working with the energies of the moon, right? You're asking for the guidance of the divine goddess to help to guide you upon your road. And the new moon is birthing this new seed. The full moon is releasing what needs to be released. Well, here we have Mercury, and I think this is a planet that we need to take a little bit more time with. And because he is a very fast moving planet and he's like goes around, and so much of our world is communication. Our world is very much where instantaneous. We want information, we want things to somebody doesn't respond on our text right away, we're like, what's going on, um so we're always wanting to consume information. And when it comes to Mercury, Mercury works with all forms of communication, from a pen to a piece of paper, to projects, to how we talk to somebody, how we book appointments, to our computer systems, to our day timers. That is Mercury. And Mercury's also, he is the commodities. So trade, markets, that's what, Mercury rules also. So when it comes to uh, consumerism, markets, how we consume things, how we interact with consuming them, this all has to do with Mercury retrograde. So this is a time where not to be afraid of Mercury retrograde. This is a time to respond to the energy, not to react to it. Because when we react, we're coming from a place of not thinking, like we just like react, right? So we need to take some time and to respond to the energy. It isn't this is also a time, if you've been working on projects, to begin to fine tune those projects. If you started something last week or last month, um, this is where we plan it. This is where we start to work with it. Now, it's not going to go as fast as what we would like it to go, but this is really a beautiful energy to work with it, because as Mercury goes direct, then we have where everything will sort of like fall into line and move with it and move right forward with Mercury as it goes through its shadow period again from being retrograde. And then it comes to that fruition of what it is that you are working on. It's not really one that you wake up in the morning and say, hey, let's start a project, and I need John over here and Susie over here, and pulling in a bunch of people to do a project. It's not going to work as well. There's going to be a lot more bumps. But this is where we come into a place where let's work with the planet. Now, in the shamanic class that I teach, we go through each of the planets and what colors do they like? What kind of foods do they like? What is it that this Mercury likes to do? So it is important with this energy that we're coming into, is that we are learning how to respond with it, how to work with it, and not get frustrated with it. This is where we have to step back and count to 10, I guess. And then we work with it. So as we move forward, because there is a lot that's coming in upon our plate, there's a lot more of within the world around us that we are going to see that is not going to be that's not going to be around us. Remember, Mercury's a god of communication. So when it comes to things like supply and demand, we're going to find that it's going to maybe slow down even more. Maybe we're going to find that it's harder to find the things that we really like to have. And so this is where, for us to be able to adjust, to look at things in a different way. And we're going to find that that's what Mercury wants to teach us to adjust, teach us to learn new ways, how to reform what it is that we do. So because we are going to be finding that we're unable to get the things that we like more, and they're going to be not as available to us as what they once were. So that's where, Mercury, has us to respond. Now we have Eros. Eros is a energy of eroticism, I'm going to call it. Eros is that one that comes in that really wants us to feel the sensations, that tangible energy, that taste of that beautiful strawberry, that kiss of a lover. They want to have that sensation. And Eros is very strong right now in Taurus. Now, so it's heightening a lot of our sensations, a lot of our feelings. So we will be feeling a lot more. Our little sensors on our body, our little auras and stuff will be like really tingling out there and really, picking up energies maybe a lot quicker than what we were before. And with the sun coming closer, it's going to again heighten it. It's going to lighten that up. And with Uranus there, it's going to help us to get and feel something new, something different. Go into a place where we might have been afraid to experience before when it comes to our feelings, when it comes to our touch, our, maybe it's the type of food that we love, and even what parts when it comes to sexuality, because Eros is very much a erotic energy that's coming in. And of course, it's across from Scorpio. So it might pull you into things, ooh, maybe a little taboo with the energies as well. We have another thing that just happened is that Venus, and Venus is like she's in Aries now, and she's in detriment. So she's coming off a vacation from a place where she was being doted on and having things, and now it's time for action. Time to get things done. Now she's not exactly happy there, and then Mercury's slowing down and going retrograde. So there is a little bit of this crazy energy, and it could be a little bit, chattery, and so you might find that people are spewing information or saying things out of context, or saying things that they don't really mean, or maybe they do mean it, and it's a little bit spiteful. And this is where, with Venus being there, this is about getting things done. So she wants to get things done, and she wants to get moving. So she might be that person that just comes in and she's very bossy, and she's, okay, the word vindictive comes in because she wants to get it done. She wants to get it done in her way. She's not very happy where she is. And so she can get a little snappy. So she's a little bit snappy right now. So this is a time to really, okay, let's reset our energies. Let's not get um into the response, the reacting energy. This is the time for us to take those steps back and begin to, okay, hold on, I don't want to react to that. Either that person's having a bad Monday, or they're having a bad, feeling about something, or they're just trying to readjust themselves. So this is where it's like really not to react, because it can get a little bit crazy out there. So this is where, again, in the news, you might be hearing uh, world leaders acting like 15-year-olds at in high school, and like, oh, you did this, oh, you did that, and blah 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 blah. So a lot of spatting back and forth and stuff like that. um and who's going to be the bigger, baddest, meanest one of all, kind of thing, and who wants to rule the roost. So you're going to see kind of like what I'm going to call like cockfights coming out, who has the bigger cock, kind of thing. And that's what I feel like is part of that energy as well, because it's an Aries. It's a very fiery, fighting, feisty energy, and Jupiter will be heading into Aries in on May 10th. So that's going to, expand again anything that's been ignited, any fieriness that's happening too, right? So there's that fieriness that's going to come in, and that expansion, and being in between the eclipses, and especially when we're going to be having a lunar eclipse in Scorpio, this could bring in a lot of of the seediness and the underhandedness, and the ones that want to lurk in the darkness and in the shadows of the alleys. And this is where, where, especially when it's going to be a full lunar eclipse, that it's going to get us to really, again, this is where we're coming back to trusting our intuition, trusting, our guidance with everything, and not over overthinking everything, because this is, finding, not to be afraid, because there's going to be a very much a fear induced energy in here. And especially when we come to the second half of May. So the astrology energy will be waking us up from, a lot from the fear, of the slumber and the pandemic and motivating us into the actions to get going and bringing more passion and excitement. That's what I mean. It's like we're getting to a point where it's like, okay, we've heard it all. We understand, okay, there's shit going on in the world. Yeah, oh, okay. We know that there is going to be a lack of food. Okay. If you don't know now, now you know. We know that prices are going to go astronomically. Okay, blah, 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 blah. That's what we're hearing. Blah, 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 blah. And it's like, okay, what can I do to bring in my passion and excitement? Right? Because we have this, when we're going into this energy and this Mercury retrograde and Pluto's retrograde, we're in between eclipses. The eclipse is going to be falling on with a Mercury retrograde. So this is where the universe is this guidance, as we release our self-imposed limitations and subconscious blocks from the past. We're releasing a lot because we want to move forward, we want to get going. Now this is where also too that not to overextend yourself, right? So this isn't a time to really go crazy and start to overextend yourself in a lot of ways, especially financially. This isn't a time to I would say, unless you have a lot of excess, a lot of money, and you're able to do this without worry. And it's not a time to take on any extra debt, like really not to take on any extra debt. This isn't, and again, it's oh, like I wouldn't go and open up a brand new store at this time. And I know there's some stores that are opening up. I just saw an Adidas store open up the road down the road here. I know Chanel is opening up a few new stores throughout New York and LA and places like that. But these are multi-million dollar corporations, right? And it'll be interesting to see if they survive and how long they survive, right? Because they have to look at, people are going to find that they're going to be cinching in their waistlines, right? And that's all part of this energy too, of cinching in your waistline, cinching in of, which would be good for me. I want to cinch in a lot of my waistline. Cinching in of saying, this is what I need to do in order for me to become prosperous and motivated. One of the things I did, I went on I started a morning walk this morning. And one of the things for me is like, okay, I have to start really looking at, and I've been humming and hawing and wondering what to do with everything. And one of the things is markets. It's, I like markets. I love getting out, meeting people, connecting with one another. Markets are kind of a hit and miss. That's my thing. Um, I know the downfalls of markets. It's where I don't like dealing with egos. I don't like dealing with dumbass fucked up people who think that they know it all, that they're better than other people, and they like to throw their shit on other people because they are in a fear of lack, whatever it is. Um, so that's the one thing about markets. I love when you are able to connect with people, that you could talk with people and help one another. That's what I love about markets. And right now, I don't sell product anymore. I don't sell bath bombs. I don't sell tarot cards. I don't sell any of that stuff anymore because I feel like you can find it somewhere else, kind of thing. And plus, it's the time, the energy, and the money, and the amount of money I spend to do those things, I never made back, kind of thing. So you can, unless you are making that money back, and this is again, this is a business sense. This is where, even with Mercury retrograde, it's, you refine, refuel, relook, at what's going on. So if you're making things and to sell that in order to make a profit, in order to keep the roof over your head, right? You need to sell a lot. You know, I need an order of bath bombs. Well, not for me, sweetheart, because I ain't making them anymore. But that's the thing, is that you need in order to make a profit, let's say with anything. So that's one of my things with markets. It's like sometimes markets are very pricey. And so you have to make that money back for your table. And to not only make the money back for your table, then you got to look at, okay, was I eating that weekend? What is the fuel I used? All of that. Like, I've become a bit more of a savvy person of how I look at things when it comes to doing markets and comes to doing that. So I want to do something that's economical, yet makes me money, right, at the end of the day. And I know there's people out there that say, well, you don't always go into a market to make money. Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. Why else are you doing it? That kind of thing. And this is where new innovative ideas need to come in, and that's where Uranus is. Uranus wants to lead us into new innovative ideas, to do things in a new way that you've never done before. And take it where, because it is in Taurus, this is Taurus energy, and Venus rules Taurus. She likes money. She likes the finer things in life. She likes to make sure that if we're going to do something, we're going to do it well. We're not going to do it half-assed. We're not going to do it where, oh yeah, I guess I'm going to do it. No, we're going to do it. And we're going to make sure that we are doing it to the best of our ability, that we are coming fully into this energy fully, and saying this is what we are doing, and being there 150% kind of thing. So this is where, for me, looking at things of, okay, what else can I be doing? Because I mean, I haven't actually worked in the outside world, in the muggle world for probably 10 years at least. So I've been out of the market. Haven't been on the market for over 10 years. Plus, so my skills are, I think I still have skills, but my skills are in a different place. So this is it. This is where, if you have a business and you want to make money, you have to be able to show up, and you have to be diligent on it. And sometimes it's like you got to start stepping out and doing things that, okay, it's time to step out and start showing my pretty face again, and being there to guide, help, and that's what I'm supposed to be doing. So I got to kick my own self in the ass and get out there. So that's the other thing. That's, part of what's on my agenda, on putting myself back out there and being seen. And I only want to do local markets. I don't want to go out of my local area. One reason is gas prices. Gas prices. Gas is going to go up. We're seeing, not that, you we're all connected, right? So Poland and Bulgaria have been cut off from the Russians for the Russian gas. So you're going to see them cutting off other people. And so what does that mean for us? Hopefully it means that, maybe if people wake up and realize that Canada can help. Hello, we have a very big oil and gas industry here, because the thing is, and this is one of my predictions here, is that everything that people are talking about green, cars, and you got to go green, you got to go green, you're going to find that's going to go to the wayside, because people need to heat their house. So places like, I think it was Bulgaria, where they were going to shut down all their nuclear plants for energy, are like, oh no, we're not going to do that right now. Oh, really? Why? Because it's going to cost them way too much money to do the green energy, and it's not long lasting. So when you have a cold winter, hence you want to have some backup, right? You want to make sure that you turn on your furnace and your house gets heated, right? So that's the other thing too, is that people are going to be looking at, okay, we need to fuel, we need the gas, we need the oil, we need the coal, because you need coal for many things. and for your electricity in some places. So these things are still going to be in a need. These are the resources that are still going to be needed. So when it comes to things like green energy and the pushing of um, electric cars and that, you're going to see that slowly sort of go to the side because we're not prepared for that right now. And the way the world is going economically, and because of the war that's happening within Russia and Ukraine, and they're not giving up on each other, they're not subsiding. And I'm going to say it out too, is that there's something fishy going on there also, because I do not trust that Ukrainian prime minister or president, because he was put in after the person that was elected, honestly, by the people of Ukraine. Yet the United States took him out. Interesting. Know your history. And he was a supportive of Russia, of bringing in Russia. Well, why not? You're right next door. It's like you're right next door to this huge country. Let's work with you. Let's, we speak the same language. That's the whole thing. We're right next door to the United States. Why not work with that country? They're right there. And that's the whole thing with what's going on in the world right now, is that people are not working with one another. They're thinking it's better to work with somebody halfway across the world than working with the own people in your backyard. Again, this is a wake-up call for community to look at who is in your backyard, who can you work with, right? And that's the same way with governments. It's like they're not looking at their own resources. Here comes again. This is, when you're looking at things, and I said, Mercury's the god of commerce and commodities. Well, where do we get a lot of our supplies from? I can't find a bloody fluorescent light except on Amazon and it's going to cost me $45. I ain't paying it because they can't get them in. Interesting. The thing is that if you want to do and crush a country, a rival, you want to hit them economically. How do you hit them economically? You lock down your own country. The workers can't work because they're sick. The backlog with when it comes to the ships and everything else and is crazy. They haven't gotten rid of the ships out there, trying to get into port in LA and in Long Beach. They're still out there. The backlog of ships and stuff like that are in and around Shanghai is absolutely crazy. Well, nobody's working. Everybody's locked down, right? So they're not doing it. So what best way to economically crush your country who is one of your biggest importers? These are the things that are going on. This is when you don't rely on your own resources and you're constantly going out and relying on somebody else. We see that too as spiritual workers. When somebody is not trusting their own energy, their own selves, they're going out wasting their energy from psychic to psychic to psychic to psychic to this spiritual worker to that spiritual worker to that intuitive, trying to find the answers instead of sitting down and doing the work that they need to do, which would profit them better in the end, right? When you're trusting your own intuition, you can go to a psychic and you can go to a spiritual person or an intuitive or guidance person to help to guide you that you're on the right path, that maybe, these are the things that you need to look out with. That is a fabulous thing to do. That's how you utilize a psychic. That's how you utilize an intuitive, is that you ask them to help to guide you. It's like, I have a few questions, and I'm just not sure. But when you start going from psychic to psychic to psychic, because you are putting your energy somewhere else. Same way what countries do. They put all of their energy into something else. And now They don't have the resources that they need. There's another country who has the resources, and their economy is growing. Interesting, because they don't have to import from outside their country. They've learned to become self-reliant. When you become self-reliant, when you become able to rely on the people that you have around you, on your community, you become a stronger person. You become a stronger human being, being able to not only help yourself, but now you're able to help others. When you're constantly throwing your energy out somewhere else, you cannot help yourself. You cannot help others because you're making yourself the weak link. Hope that makes sense to you all. And you can see that on the world front right now. So here is our wake up call. This is our time of awakening. This is our time of working together. This is a time of community. This is, we're going to be finding that, especially this month is a month that is really going to get us to get off our asses and start really doing what we need to do. Hence, it's kicking my ass to say, you got to get back into markets because I want to make money. I want to keep my business going. I want to keep a roof over my head. And I like to eat. I really do like to eat, just an FYI. Food is, food, coffee, wine. I love it. I love, 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 love food and all that yummy goodness. So what do I got to do? I got to get off my ass and I got to get out there. What are you doing? What are you doing to create the abundance in your life? And how does that look? And what does that look like for you? Those are some of the questions um, to start to get yourself motivated. And that's one of the reasons I started, day one walking today. Let's hope I do day two. But to get back out there and start walking, because connections with nature, connections with the world around me help to clear my mind, help me to get grounded and focused on what I need to be doing instead of sitting around twiddling my thumbs and hoping that somehow, somewhere, that the money fairy will come in and go ding, here you go. That would be nice. I'm still hoping for the money fairy, though. I'm still hoping for the money fairy. So, and I'll pass the money fairy off to all of you as well. So all of you have a fabulous, fabulous day. And may the Lord and the Lady watch over and bless you in all that you say and all that you be and all that you do. Have a blessed one, everyone. And we will talk to you all tomorrow. Bye-bye.